Hello, my friends. And today, bad news continues to come from the Kharkiv direction as the occupiers are advancing further and the number of attacks is increasing. So over the past day, 13 assaults have already been recorded and they are mobilizing more reserves and increasing pressure. So in the Vovchansk area, the occupiers make advance in two places yesterday, and today there are reports of offensive actions in the village of Staritsa, which is almost 2 kilometers from the border, and battles for Vovchansk are already in full swing. So the occupiers are conducting assaults on the outskirts of the city. Moreover, they are attempting to enter the city from two sides, but the defense is doing everything possible to repel the attacks. And official information states combat actions continue on the northern outskirts of Vovchansk and near the village of Staritsa. At the same time, the situation to the west is also challenging. So the occupiers have advanced 2 kilometers and battles are ongoing for Lukyansk. And in the area of Hlyboke, they are attempting to advance towards Slobozhansk. So along the road, and their primary target here is the dam. So considering that Hlyboke is already partially under Russian control as they displayed their flag in the settlement yesterday, there is approximately 3 kilometers to the dam. Moreover, intensified shelling of Slobozhansk and the village of Vesele is already underway, so it seems that the Russians will now move further in this direction. And regarding the fortifications location, Yakovets, the head of the State Special Service, explained. Constructing fortifications 3 floors below ground directly on the border is impossible. Serious fortifications extends further in response to a statement by Denis Yaroslavsky, commander of the reconnaissance platoon of the 1st Infantry Battalion of the 57th Separate Motorized Infantry Brigade, about the lack of fortifications on the border. The first line, or the so-called Frontline, is naturally held by units and equipped by the units themselves. Speaking of using heavy equipment, reinforced concrete structures, unfortunately, is not possible, stated Alexander Yakovets. So according to him, the first line in the Kharkiv region is located from 1.5 to 5 or 6 kilometers from the Russian border. Yakovets declined to comment on the details of the second defense line due to the security considerations. The third line is located at various distances from 17 to 35 kilometers. So if the first serious lines of defense are beyond 17 kilometers and beyond, then, as you understand, from the border to Kharkiv it's 21 kilometers, and if you could count 35 kilometers from the border, then that's a considerable distance. So foreign analysts show that defensive lines are located in the areas of the settlements like Sosnovy Bir, Petropavlivka, and Prokolotne, and so on. So therefore, there is a likelihood that the Russians will try to reach these defensive positions. And Oleg Senegubov, due to significant resonance on the topic of defense lines, said that answers would be provided to all questions. Today attention should be also drawn to the Sumy region. It's reported that due to increased shelling from the Russian side, evacuation have been announced. Evacuation has been announced in 2 cities in the Sumy region due to shelling by the Russians, stated the head of the Sumy regional administration, Volodymyr Artucha. Evacuations have begun in the cities of Bilopilya and Vorozhba in the Sumy region. So, moving to the front lines. In the Kupiansk direction, the occupiers have also increased the activity with 15 assaults recorded in a day and attempts to break through to the city at any cost. So assaults are underway in Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, and battles have resumed for Ivanivka. So, but the front line remains unchanged. The Ukrainian Armed Forces are successfully repelling the attacks. In the Svatovo area, so the occupiers are attempting to break through to Berestove. And several groups are simultaneously assaulting Stelmachivka, trying for a second day to break through to Andriivka, and there are assaults on Novoyegorivka. So here too, the Ukrainian Armed Forces are doing everything possible to maintain defense, and the front line remains unchanged. In the direction of Crimea, so the occupiers have reduced the activity today, with attacks only being reported on the village of Makiyevka. So there are no changes along the front line. In the Siversk direction, so maximum activation continues with 15 assaults per day, and here the occupiers are storming Bilohorivka, Verkhnyokamyenske, Vyimka, Rozdolivka, and the vicinity of Spirne. So, however, as before, success lies with the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and they manage to repel the attacks. In the direction of Chasiv Yar, so the occupiers continue to assault the Novy microdistrict and also attempt to develop success on the flanks, and thus battles for Grigorivka, Ivanivska, Klishchiivka, and Andriivka continue. Moreover, to ease the situation, the Ukrainian Armed Forces targeted an ammunition depot in Krasnodon, Luhansk region. So, in the Pokrovsk direction, so the occupiers continue their highest activity with 33 assaults per day, storming, as before, Novo-Alexandrivka, Yevgenivka, Sokil, then Novopokrovske, Novoselivka Persha, then Umanske, Yasnobrodivka, and Netailove, advancing with a broad front. So, however, no new successes were recorded during the day, and the front line remains unchanged. And additionally, the Ukrainian Armed Forces managed to destroy another enemy helicopter, the Ka-52 Alligator, on this front. So, in the Kurakhove direction, assaults continue in the northern part of Krasnohorivka, and battles are ongoing near the village of Kostantinivka. The Ukrainian Armed Forces are conducting counterattacks to stabilize the situation. So far, we see that the front line hasn't changed over the course of the day. In the Vuhledar direction, so battles continue for Vodyane, and also Staromayorske and Urozhaine. So the situation is challenging, but the Ukrainian forces repel all attacks, and the front line remains unchanged. In the Zaporizhia direction, so the occupiers also continue to assault Robotine, but they are not achieving any success, so it's evident that they are unable to regain lost territory in the face of counterattacks by the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Therefore, the front line in this area also remains unchanged. In the direction of Kherson, so battles are raging for the village of Krinke, with the occupiers conducting multiple attacks per day. Despite claims by Russian correspondents that they are not conducting any assaults and are only attempting to shell. So the situation remains unchanged. And the Ukrainian Armed Forces are positioned on the left bank. So the front line remains stable, and on the right bank, the shelling persists, utilizing both artillery and drones. And yesterday, explosions were recorded over the Bereslav district. So additionally, there is information that the first F-16s will arrive in Ukraine within months. So Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen stated that the promised F-16 fighter jets from Denmark will arrive in Ukraine within a few months. She made this announcement during a press conference on her visit to Sweden, as reported by journalist Die Zeit. So Ukraine is set to receive 19 fighter jets from Denmark, followed by aircraft from the Netherlands in the fall. So, moreover, Scholz stated that Ukrainians with residence and work permits will be allowed to stay in Germany. So Ukrainians with residence and work permits will be allowed to stay in Germany, said Scholz. The current situation is such that the residency here is not in question. Employment also contributes to the security of residence, the Chancellor noted. So Scholz urged Ukrainians to seek employment. We hope that those who have come to Ukraine as soon as they have the opportunity to work will work. It's worth noting that many are already doing so, but there are still hundreds of thousands who are urgently needed in the job market, added Scholz. And that's all from me, please. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.